never imagined a single question could shatter everything I thought I knew about myself. Came silently, almost gentle, but it struck me like sledgehammer. The words hung in the air, heavy, dangerous, loaded with implication. Do you ever imagine what it would feel like if it were me instead of him? Outside, the rain hammered down, relentless, a storm, matching the turmoil racing through my ears. I froze in the dim garage. The smell of motor oil and damp concrete clung thickly around me. Liam, my husband's son from his first marriage, stood right there, eyes dark with a question that couldn't be taken back. My heart raced. I was 43, a wife, a mother. Liam was 25, tall, broad, with that quietly intense presence that always seemed to command tension. He wasn't a boy. I hadn't seen him that way in years. But he wasn't supposed to be this either. Not a temptation, not a risk, certainly not someone capable of unraveling me with a single forbidden truth. I opened my mouth to speak, but nothing emerged. I couldn't lie. Not to him, not to myself. The silence stretched, thick with everything left unspoken. That's when he moved closer. Not dramatically, just subtly, but it shifted everything. His fingers brushed my cheek, hesitant at first, then firm. My breath caught as his hands framed my face. The storm outside became nothing but a muted echo as his lips found mine. No hesitation, no room for guilt, just a desperate, urgent pull, like we'd been waiting too long. The cold concrete pressed beneath me, biting through my sweater, but I barely noticed. All I felt was him, solid, warm, alive. Every nerve screamed to flee, but I stayed. I let myself fall into it, into him, into the ache I'd buried for years. Robert, my husband, wasn't cruel, wasn't absent. After 20 years we had slipped into quiet routine. Words were replaced by nods. Passion lived only in movies. Our daughter Emily had left for college last fall, leaving the house in a new, hollow silence. Nights found me in the shower, hot water stinging my skin just so I could feel something. I never realized loneliness could cut this sharply. Liam had been around more recently, fixing things, sharing coffee, sitting across from me while Robert buried himself in the news. First, our connection was silent, lingering looks, fleeting touches, hands brushing over sugar bowls, his gaze holding mine. Second, too long. I told myself it was nothing, imagination, that I was too old, too married, too responsible. But the truth was, I had already let happen. Long before that night, before the kiss, it started the moment I looked at him in ways I shouldn't, and saw him looking back the same way. One Saturday stands out. Robert was golfing. Liam came to sort boxes in the attic. We ended up shoulder to shoulder, flipping through old albums. A wedding photo caught my eye. Robert and me, young, hopeful, smiling. "You looked happy," Liam murmured. Quiet, gentle. Not judgment, just truth. I couldn't reply, knew what would follow. His fingers grazed mine on the photo, sending sparks through me. I pulled back, whispered, "This isn't right." He didn't flinch, didn't plead. He asked simply, "Then why do you keep letting me close?" Had no answer. That afternoon, at the kitchen sink, arms deep in soapy water, I tried to scrub away my thoughts. The faucet had been leaking for weeks. Robert never fixed it. Liam appeared, toolbox in hand, without prompting. Silent, efficient, muscles flexing with each turn of the wrench. I watched him, tension vibrating between us. When he finished, he wiped his hands and looked at me. "I didn't just come for the faucet," he said, voice husky. "I came for you." My knees nearly gave way. I tried to step back, but he closed the space. Fingers brushed my cheek. His lips found mine again. I didn't stop him. Pressed in the narrow kitchen, surrounded by dishes, notes, reminders of a life I was meant to guard, I kissed him. Desperately, like drowning, and finally finding air. Afterwards, I sat on the laundry floor, knees hugged to my chest, holding a button wedged behind the dryer, a dark, worn button from Liam's favorite jacket. Proof. Evidence. Tiny, meaningless thing that carried the weight of betrayal. Anyone could find it. Emily, Robert. I stared at it, expecting it to ignite. Liam stopped visiting. One call distant. With, better if I don't come around any more. That was all. No more late visits, glances, repairs. He was gone. But the echo remained. Began seeing Robert again, truly seeing him, the creases in his eyes, his thoughtful taps, the man I'd built a life with. I realized then I hadn't been a victim. I had chosen this, knowingly chasing the forbidden, surrendering to a hunger I thought long buried. I don't know the future. I haven't told Robert. Maybe I never will. Maybe I'm selfish. Maybe I fear destroying what we've built. But I cannot forget that question, Liam's whisper in my mind. Do you ever wonder what it would be like if it were me? And the truth is, do.